Wingapo, beautiful people. Chama Cheskame to all of my patrons. Indigenous Americans, or Amaracuans, weren't across the board fair or pale like this beautiful Native American family here. We started out with a fair bit of melanin. We, the indigenous people of Amaracu, came and come in all shades, and thanks to this book by Kimberly Norton, who laid out the research for us, we will discuss the descriptors used by early explorers who described us. So here are color swatches ranging from swarthy to tawny. And this is an example of human complexions ranging from swarthy to fair. So there can be no doubt that when you read the word swarthy and it pertains to a person or group of people and their complexions, this is what the author means. So what does swarthy mean? From a dictionary of the English Language, Volume 2 by Robert Latham, published 1872, swarthy means black, darkly brown, tawny. Swarthy, adjective, dark of complexion, black, dusky, tawny. Let's look at this watercolor of a Taino man from the mountains of Hispaniola. And the Wikipedia definition for Tainos: the Tainos occupied Haiti or Hispaniola, Dominican Republic, Jamaica, Puerto Rico, Cuba, and the Bahamas. They speak Arawak, and they are still here. The tribe has not been extinct or extinguished. Now let's take a look at this group photo of Arawak people. They're swarthy, some are chestnut, some are tawny, but mostly swarthy. Look at this beautiful family here. So this is Mikian Phillips, and she has campaigned and gained recognition for the Guaini Taino people in the Virgin Islands. She also has been named the cacique or chief of the Guaini tribe for the first time in hundreds of years. Notice she is tawny while her family is swarthy and or chestnut. Let's look at the definition for tawny. Tawny, adjective, yellow like things tanned, from, again, a dictionary of the English Language, Volume 2 by Robert Latham, published 1872. Now let's take a look at ruddy. See this mother and her daughters? They have a red undertone in their skin. It's ruddy. So the definition is approaching to redness or pale red, and it's by the same author who wrote a dictionary of the English Language, Volume 2. Now let's look at what a couple of the explorers referred to us as. Oh, back up. I am forgetting, I'm skipping. So this is Ute Chief Severo and his family, and this photo was taken in 1899. Notice they are ruddy. Okay, now let's go to a few of the explorers who described us as swarthy, tawny, chestnut, fair, what have you. Giovanni Verrazzano. Have you ever heard of him? He was a famous explorer, and this bridge in Brooklyn is named after him. So let's read an excerpt from Sailor's Narrative of Voyages Along the New England Coast, 1524 to 1624, published by Boston, Houghton, and Mifflin in 1905, pages 3 to 20. I'm only going to read an excerpt because this is Kimberly R. Norton's compilation, and you all should buy her book. So anyway, Giovanni Verrazzano says, the complexion of these people is black, not much different from that of the Ethiopian. I've been doing some research, and it seems Verrazzano may have come across the Koyuchi or Yuchi people of the Carolinas. And notice the Yuchi people are swarthy. You have some chestnut, maybe a tawny person there, one or two, but they're mostly swarthy. So next, Verrazzano says, to an island similar to the size of Rhodes or Rhode Island, he found more people. They exceed us in size, he said, and they are very fair complexion. Some of them incline more to a white and others to a tawny color. Okay. And here's some more examples. This little girl down here, she's fair. And you see these three women. They look like friends. They're happy. And they're chestnut and tawny. And this woman, I believe she's holding someone's hand, and she looks like she has a ruddy complexion. And this woman here, she looks like she has a ruddy complexion as well. Okay, let's move on to Martin Pring, and he says swart, tawny, and chestnut. So he said these people in color are inclined to a swart, tawny, or chestnut color. And this is also from Sailor's Narrative of Voyages Along the New England Coast. He probably came across the Yamasee or Jamasee of South Carolina. So this is another description by Fletcher Donaldson, Lane Donaldson Ward, called The Five Civilized Tribes in Indian Territory, published 1894 on page 27. The Yamasee or Jamasee are one of a small number of isolated tribes of dark complexion found widely scattered among inhabitants of North and South America. That's the Yamasee. And you see this woman here, she is, I'll say, tawny to fair, and the two men in back of her are swarthy. Here are more examples. This man down here in the turquoise and the white and beige or gray, he is tawny. And the two women above him are tawny. And the woman and her child are chestnut. And this woman here on the right, she has paint on her face. I would say she is chestnut to tawny. Okay. Now here is a picture that I found of an Inuit mother and her baby. They are, I would say they are tawny, maybe even ruddy. I would say ruddy. Okay. Now here's something. I found this picture of a vintage Eskimo baby doll. And notice vintage. Back then, this looked like from the 60s, 70s, maybe even late 50s. Eskimo or Inuit baby dolls were dark-skinned. Now, they are pale. You buy a modern-day Eskimo or Inuit doll, they will be pale. It's called whitewashing. So, now you know that the people here on Turtle Island, my ancestors, some of them, were melanated, and they were tawny, and they were fair. They ranged in all shades of brown, from the darkest to the lightest, okay? It wasn't until colonization was well underway when my ancestors were marrying out, and they had children who were lighter skinned, and they had children who were dark skinned. And then the light skinned people were separated from the dark skinned. So you have these tribes who were separated because of color, prompted and instigated by the colonizers. We'll get more into that soon. So thank you for listening to this presentation and watching this presentation. Kina, thank you. And Anna, bye now.